Question of the day. What do you need to become an owner-operator? Well, ideally, you would need all of your expenses at home to be paid for at least 3 to 6 months. And if you can't get that within the 30 days, you don't need to be an owner-operator. That way, that if there's any kind of pandemic or natural emergency or weather-related issue, you don't fall into any kind of trouble. So 30 days you must have 3 to 6 months of expenses at home. That means rent, electricity, gas, water, garbage, car payment, anything that you have at home, including food. The ability to buy food. So you've got that kind of sorted out. The next thing you must have is the ability to pay most of your bills up front. Now, if you're going to work for a mega carrier, a lot of your bills will be weekly and they will be structured. But if you're going to get your own authority, you need to be able to pay for your own authority, all the fees that come with it. You need to be able to pay for your insurance up front. That way you don't have a monthly bill coming out. Then your truck. Your truck needs to be no more than what you can afford. I.e., you're not going to go out and buy a brand new truck unless you can pay at least 75% of it. If it's a smaller truck, if it's lower, an older truck, you're going to need to be able to pay at least 50% of it. You want to keep your truck payment to below $250 a week. That's $1,000 a month. Ideally, you're probably around about $200 to $150 a week would be professional, would be better. But like I said, if you can pay for it cash by buying an older truck to start out with, and then build the money as you create. If you buy an older truck, you put a truck payment away inside of a bank. That will build up over the period of 2 to 3 years, where you can put 75% down on a newer truck or a brand new truck. These are things that you need to have before becoming an owner-operator, or have set up to become an owner-operator. If you come out on the road and your expenses can go more, your rate per mile just for all the bills without you being paid, including fuel, is more than like 60 to 70 cents a mile, then you're not going to make it. That's just crazy business. There are people that do it, and it is when times are hard, when freight goes low and the price of freight goes down, people really struggle and have a hard time. Then the first place they look at is the government. Please, sir, can I have some money because I didn't do it right? Many people say that that's a bad idea to do it like that, but that's common sense. That's common sense all the way along. If you use common sense, you'll be fine. That way, when the freights go to like $1 a mile or 80 cents a mile, at least you're still making something. Your bills are still being paid, and you're still making money. All right? Also, what you need to do is have a business plan set up. You need to be able to pay yourself through your business. Okay? Don't take the profit of the business and say that's your wage. You need to pay yourself a set wage, i.e., 50 cents a mile, 60 cents a mile, whatever you think you deserve as a driver. The rest of the money stays in the business. Yeah, you're going to pay tax on it, but what people are running into right now is this stimulus package that's out there, the payroll protection plan. And they're applying for these loans. And they are loans where the government is going to give you a certain amount of money depending on your income. So if you do have to stay home, at least your bills at home are going to be paid for. Now, what people are running into are the fact that they take all of the money out of the business and call it a wage. right? Well, that's good, but what happens to you during the pandemic like this, like we're in right now? If you paid yourself a set wage every week, then when you apply for a payroll protection plan, your wage would be incorporated. So say you pay yourself $1,000 a week, you could end up with anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. Now, you have to pay that back unless you can put in 80% of that goes towards an employment wage. For one person, you can turn around and say, okay, that money that I got in from the government, let's say $8,000. For the next 8 weeks, my wage is going to come out of that $8,000. Then I can be picky and choosy with what I work on the road. My rates are low, so I can drop down to the lowest rates to get me to good rates, to get me by, or even just stay at home. Your rates are good, your bills are paid at home because you're getting your wage from the government. 80% of that is now covered, at least 80% of it. All right? So it's forgiving at the end. When the pandemic's over, it's all forgiven. Because you've set it aside. You've set it to go into your payroll. And if your accountant or your books reflect that, the government's got no choice but to forgive the loan as they suggested. So then all you have to do is run, and you can run for 50 cents a mile, 60 cents a mile, whatever it is, and get you into a load where it pays 50 cents. Now, what do you do if you find a load that pays $1 or $1.50 a mile? Well, what happens to all that profit that you get off of that load? Well, you keep that in your business. You keep that in your business account. So it builds up your business account whilst you're still running. You're being paid by the government to go to work, but you're building that business account up. That's smart, because then the government can't touch it. You pay taxes on it. You're going to pay taxes on it no matter what. But you don't pay taxes on the money that the government gives you, because it went to your payroll. The money you earn stays in your business, doesn't go home. Therefore, you're not struggling. Therefore, you're not asking the government for a handout. Oh, I need an extra 50 cents a mile. Please, sir, can I have some money because I'm broke? No. It's common sense. Use common sense, you will survive. But people aren't telling you this. All these other YouTubes, oh yeah, you should be able to have a truck payment and do all this, and your rate per mile should be about $1.50. Well, what happens when the $1.50 ain't there? What happens when the $1.50 isn't there? What happens if it's only 50 cents a mile? You can no longer effectively do your job. You can no longer effectively be an owner-operator, a company person, a business person. Keep your costs low, and all these things, and make sure that your records are up to date. Make sure your records are there. Then you don't have to worry about it. I never was. So, just a question that needs to be answered, needs to be asked. Hope this helps in some way. And like I said, like, subscribe, leave a comment.